Come around me and hit this fan.
The views and opinions expressed on Live at the Barbershop are entirely those of the host, guest, and caller and do not reflect the opinions of Live at the Barbershop or its staff. Viewers' discretion is advised. The following podcast is intended for mature audiences only and contains adult contents, graphic language, strong sexual content, and a whole lot of shit talking. So in other words, get your kids out the room.
Here we go at the Barbershop with your hosts, Misha J, Aaliyah, Black Republican, and those two crazy Caribbean guys from the Q&N show, Norris and Q. And now, the man of the hour, Mr. HNIC, Mr. Sleep When You're Dead, Hustle Now, the magnificent.
Yo, son. What's up with all that?
Oh, I was just trying to amp it up, you know, like...
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, I'm all right, I'm with that.
John, live at the Barbershop Podcast.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
What's up, world? What is good?
We done took over the shop.
And this is in here. Got black IT on the ones and twos, baby.
Yeah, I had to kick Bob out for a minute.
No Bob this week. Bob like to come around when Q is in here, man.
Yeah,
that's what I'm realizing.
Yeah, I don't know. They've been going at it. I don't
know what's good with them, man. So where's the boss at, man? I was looking for him. I ain't see him outside, man. What's going on with him?
Man, you know.
The usual, huh?
I take care of stuff.
The usual, man. He ain't show up to work.
I locked the door, and we taking over tonight.
Well, I look like I see that guy in the bottom screen down there, man. What in the world?
He can't get away.
Where's
from
the
nothing,
doorbell, man? Let me hear the doorbell.
Doorbell?
Go ahead and bring him in.
Nope.
Where is he at? Let's see. I don't know now. Let's bring him in anyway. There it is.
Father, I love.
That'll work.
Let's bring him in,
man. Bring him in.
You just gonna bring him in? You ain't even announce yourself.
I said this is madness. I let him know this is madness. We took over. I got black IT on the ones and twos. Live at the Barbershop. We got an interesting episode for you all tonight.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned.
We're gonna bring in the boss, Mr. No Sleep. I don't know what else. Yeah, John, what they do?
What up?
Like Red Man, who is that?
What's good? I'm just on a sideline right now. I'm here on some other business. So next week is gonna be a movie.
All right, now I see you. Next week, huh?
Yeah, next week gonna be a movie. I'm gonna check in from some other spots. Check in with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Now tell me, you've been in the news now. You've been paying attention to the news. I wanted to bring this up a couple of weeks back now. But we've been, with hip hop turning 50, a lot of different little joints going on in here. Okay. Kind of got away from it a little bit. But tonight we want to discuss the Good Dads Act.
Good Dads Act.
Saw that.
That's that bill.
I'm happy about that.
775. Yeah.
775 bill 7065.
775.
Yeah, I know. I saw 775, but it was also like another bill too. But
hold on. We gotta bring the lady for the house in now. Hold on. One more.
Hold on. Wait. Oh, she ready?
Let's get it.
Hold on. There we go. Introducing Sassy.
Live at the Barbershop.
Oh, hello.
Mike,
I can't hear you.
Mike.
Oh my God.
Pick up your phone.
Is it working?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Gotcha.
What's up, everybody?
What is going on?
What's going on, dads? Y'all got a bill? 775.
Yeah.
Finally, right?
Some acknowledgement that y'all exist.
2023.
Oh my.
They're seeing us to some degree in the court system. Huh?
Okay.
Finally.
About time.
So shout out to Bernard Jennings
for
making that happen. Shout out. Yep.
young Ethan.
Thank you very much.
They
I
was
tell
able to work
everybody
it.
too, y'all got to go out and support the movement now. Now that he put that in place, we got to really go out there and support the movement however we can.
Yeah, they're trying to carry it to other states now.
Yeah.
They need it.
So this is a huge win for Florida right now, right?
Okay.
And, you know, I mean, we'll delve into the bill itself for a little bit, right? I got some notes here on it. All right, so Dr. Jennings was able to present a proposal to the state legislature, highlighting the inequality in rights between unwed fathers and mothers when it comes to parenting their children.
Okay.
All right, so District 107, the state representative Christopher Benjamin, Esquire, was able to take an interest in the proposal and introduce this new bill, which is 775. It's titled officially the Parental Responsibility After Acknowledgement of Paternity to the Florida's legislature. Always mess that word.
They always be catching me too.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you got me. All right, now, the objective of this bill, okay, the primary goal of the bill is to grant the unwed fathers the same rights as mothers in the matters of parental responsibility, paternity establishment, and child custody.
Good.
All right. As far as specific provisions, unwed fathers could establish paternity without going to court. Unwed fathers now have equal right to shared parental responsibility, the same as the mothers. This bill prevents unwed mothers from relocating children out of state without the father's consent. That's a big one.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. And moving on a little bit, this bill received endorsements from prominent organizations, including the Florida Family Policy Council, the Florida Catholic Conference, and the Florida Alliance for Fathers. I'll give a shout out to them real quick.
That's good.
Okay. Let's see. This bill was successfully passed on July 1st, 2023 by yours truly, Governor DeSantis, right? Now, diving into it a little bit, right? Couple good pointers there. Mothers are no longer allowed to just take shorty and bounce. Huge.
That's huge.
Now, we got to be realistic for a moment, though. Does that mean they won't? See, it's been expressed that they can't. But see, I had to learn the hard way, okay? You don't take the courts home with you. You do not take the courts home with you. The judge can rule in your favor 1,000,000 times over. As soon as y'all walk out that courtroom, you're on your own, player. On your own. And the idea is to agitate and annoy you to the fullest so you can come up out of character or tap into a new character.
True.
So where your head's at? John, how you looking, man?
It's monumental, but I think at the end of the day, also what they have to put in place now is some sort of accountability for the females that are not complying with the law itself. Because, all right, for instance, now for men, if you're not complying, you get your license revoked. As far as child support, let's say,
coming to get you.
You get your license revoked, passport, garnish your wages, on and on and on. Get locked up. What I've noticed and what I've heard from numerous men out here, and this is the thing about it, I'm glad that they named it the Good Fathers Act, because that's exactly what I'm seeing. A lot of good fathers out here that are not running from their responsibilities, that want to be fully invested in their kids, but just keep getting blocked. It's like an Obamacare situation going on. You know what I'm saying? Republican was here, he'd be like,
don't rile up Republican now.
Yeah, he'll be popping up next.
What you say?
you know. Think about it. That same situation, I know a person right now in New York State that's going through that, where the person picked up, took off with his kids, and no matter how much he's petitioned the courts to say, "Hey, I'm paying child support. I haven't seen my kids in over a year.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have not pressed the subject to say she's in violation. There's a lot of things that's going on. Every time you tell me, all right, reschedule for a next date, I show up, she don't show up, but there's no repercussions. But if it was vice versa, he'd be locked up right now."
Mm-hmm.
And, he made a clear statement on something, because I went through it myself. He made a clear statement. The mother didn't show up for court. He showed up.
Yeah.
And they were going back and forth. I don't know if her lawyer showed up or she didn't. But he said he went to get a bottle of water to drink, and the bailiff said to him, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Go to drink some water." He said, "You have to ask for permission to drink water in this court."
Mm-mm.
Now, where have you ever heard anything like that?
At court.
It's crazy.
Where have you ever heard anything like that? I told him, the thing is, you're a father. You understand what I'm saying? So for this act, it's monumental. It's the beginning, I should say. It's the beginning, because there's still probably things that need to get tweaked.
Oh, definitely. Like, see, my situation is complex. Okay, for those of you who don't know madness, right? It's not necessarily that I am madness. I embrace the name because that's what I grew up in. That's what I was surrounded by, and it's like, you know what? Kind of tired of running from this thing, so let me go ahead and just wear it on my sleeves. Literally, it's on my sleeves. Okay. My oldest is 19, which my story is crazy. I have a 19-year-old, a 16-year-old, and then my youngest two are 8 and 4 in 4 days, right? 3 days now. My oldest two, I got full custody, residential rights, custodial parent, you name it, whatever the title is today is what I established in 2012. And it was not a walk in the park. My 19-year-old is who you would imagine I got first. Nope. I got my daughter first. My daughter, 2 separate women. And her mother simply wasn't showing up to court. It was one of those weekend visits that just went to hell. Picked her up. When I went to take her back, I guess they had been evicted or whatever. There was no notice. There was no call back on the phone, nothing. Right? Made several calls. I reached out to the family and nothing. This guy here, black eye teeth. You messing us up, play. So with hers, I was paying child support for a child that was now residing with me. I went to the court. I was able to get temporary custody of my daughter. Temporary. My son on the other side of town, his whole world was crashing, burning down. And his mother in our court, I was just going to get weekend visits. I wasn't going for full custody was impossible in 2012.
Right.
Can attest to that. With my son's mother, bouncing around a little bit, with her, we went to court just so I could set up weekend visits, put me on child support, put me in some type of position so I have access to my boy. At the time, that was my only son. Family was missing him. I wanted to have him around me. You know, there's essential things that young men need coming up.
Right.
His mother didn't comply with me at all. Didn't comply with me, didn't comply with the judge, gave 0 F's about the bailiff. She made threats to both of them when we were in court. And that's ultimately how I got him. I'm sitting in there with this overly expensive attorney trying to figure out life. And, you know, I had to be silent. For the men out there, you're looking to do this, I do recommend, go ahead and establish full custody. Pursue it. If you're going to spend the money, run it. Go for everything you can get. No offense to the women, at least the good ones, that is. But if you're gonna take that woman to court, sir, I'm telling you, go for the goal. Go for everything. Okay? 50-50, please. No. 60-40. Try to run the numbers, be residential. My son's mother made a threat to the judge. Made a threat to the general magistrate, threatened the bailiff. They said, oh, no, you got to go see an actual judge for this because we can't deal with this. At some point in the reunification process, she wrote a rhyme talking about blowing up the building, man. I kid you not. The judge got this and was like, oh, yeah, no. He's not going back over there. So I ended up with my son first.
Right.
My daughter, totally different situation. The mothers are worlds apart. She just went missing. When she finally showed up to court, right? When she finally showed up, the judge asked, what's been going on with the child support? She's like, I'm sorry, the child support, the payment that he makes. And it was weekly. I got paid weekly. So it came out of every check. Okay. Oh, I've been giving it to my mom. You gotta be kidding me, man. She said it out loud to the judge. The judge said, like, when you see them do this, oh, you done fucked up. Okay. What was that? How many payment? All of them. Oh, okay. So you're paying that back, right? You're paying that back. All of it. You're paying it all back. I just came to get my daughter. Yeah, that's not happening. Not today.
Wow.
So they established that reunification process. I want to say she showed up to a couple visits, and I don't know if it was the distance or the parking. Who knows what the excuse was, but she stopped. I ended up with my oldest 2 kids, both of them back to back. Impossible for a young man in 2012. I got to put strong emphasis on that. 2023 times are a lot softer. You can kind of get away with murder now. But in 2012, I was frowned at by family. I had friends disown me because now you the guy with the kids. Ain't nobody
hang with you.
Time for that. Yeah, ain't got no time for that. So, and broke, on the brink of broken, right? It's just like anything. You got a couple pounds you need to shed. It's too tough. It's too hard. Get your ass in the gym. Go to the gym. Same thing with these kids, man. It's not going to be an easy process, especially if you don't have the right legal. If you don't have the right counsel, you're going to run into all kinds of hiccups, all types of headaches. But it's still worth it in the long run.
Yep.
The statistics are still showing single father is still the equivalent of both mom and dad in the home in comparison to just the single mother not really raising the child and grandma raising the child, something to think about. But like I say, this is the start to something. We'll see where it goes. As far as the men in our community, the men that follow us, it's like, you seriously need to get in that courtroom, man. Spend that bread. You spend it on everything else. If these kids mean something to you, take the ride. Run the numbers up, man. Their future is in your hand for the most part. You can give mom the assist, but she don't. Women, ladies, y'all don't have to have these kids full time anymore. We're not getting good results. Okay.
I especially agree with that when it comes to the boys. I think after a certain age, boys need to be with their fathers.
So after a certain age, what age you got?
Like 5 or 7.
Okay.
They need to be with their fathers because they got to learn how to grow into, into their manhood. I can't teach my sons that. You know what I'm saying? I think there's too many boys just up underneath their mama's skirt for too long.
Yeah. Well, one thing I would think, I remember having this discussion with my nephew. Well, I forgot what age he was, but I told him something happened with his father. He was saying something to me, and I told him, I said, "Well, look, look at it like this.
Yeah.
And for some fathers that are not up to speed, that's fine, so long as that child has other male influences around him that's going to show them positive things. It don't even have to be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be a neighbor. It could be anything of that nature. But someone that's of a positive, because he can have his father sitting right next to him, and his father's not doing anything, teaching him anything, just
That's
showing him
true.
more. You know, you have some guys. I mean, look. I remember Prodigy said that his father taught him how to shoot when he was 11. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, some could look at that and say, okay, Pop showing me how to handle my business in the streets. Some can look at it like that's just a recipe for destruction. You understand what I'm saying? Like an
Yeah.
11-year-old don't really need to know how to shoot a gun before he can really read or write, you know. So, like,
But then you have to consider their environment too now. I don't know what his demographic was, but
that's my point where I'm making that, again, sometimes just having the title father don't necessarily mean manhood or means the correct human being or how to really move in life the correct way. You understand? Just the title being a father don't mean you're a father all the time. You understand?
I get you.
That's true.
And that's the thing with it, where again, communities still need to step it up, like how it was back in the days. The community, like they said, it takes a village.
Yeah.
So the problem right now with all these different things that's going on, honestly, and I know it's kind of cliche to keep using that little thing about hate, hurt people. No, we get that, but now it's just some vengeful people out here. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like
see,
people that know that they can maneuver the law to their advantage. You know, that's just like some con artists nowadays that are running these little lotto scams and different things. They study and they understand certain little things and how to maneuver around certain things. And it's no different when it comes to the parenting portion of things. And like I said, again, over and over again, because this, I don't want to just keep focusing and saying females, but unfortunately, it's just the reality. The percentage of men that do have full custody, like yourself, it's a smaller number.
It's real small, minute. Yeah.
So it's not something like we're beating down females. I tell you all the time, we have a lot of great females on the platform as our, I don't like to use the word fan, but as our family, you know. So it's not doing that. It's just is what it is, you know. It's just educating people to know that there has to be a change, because you have one individual that just want to sock it to somebody, and they use the child as a pawn now.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna interject for a second. That's on both sides too, man. Believe it or not. You have some dudes right now. Yeah, because there's some dudes right now knowing, 100%. Got this much saying she do. Oh yeah, I'm finna drag her, buddy. You know, it's some guys out here right now. If she was trying to move to Chicago, yeah, she ain't doing that no more.
It's coming.
Putting an end to that. You know, so
that's why I said I don't want to just say females.
Women,
the percentage for men is smaller. That's all.
Well, hopefully going forward, some dialogue can be had between both parents and some, you know,
definitely.
One person won't always have their way, so there's going to be some yielding, but it doesn't have to be the same person always yielding. A lot of times, the fathers do end up yielding to the mothers just to keep peace and just to keep peace in their own lives. I see that a lot.
And that's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
I saw a video on YouTube. A guy drove from, I'm going to say Maryland to Virginia to pick up his daughter.
And she wasn't there.
I remember, I know specifically it was Virginia. I just can't remember if it was from the Carolinas or if it was from DC or Baltimore, but something to that effect. But he drove all the way out there, I think like 200 something miles or something, right? And she gets out the car. And he's like, all right, can I have my daughter? Because he's supposed to have her for the weekend. This was the meeting point. and she looks in his car. She's like, I ain't sending my daughter in your car with that car seat. He's like, what? What are you talking about? She's like, nah, I don't think that car seat is safe. He's like, yo, stop playing with me. I just drove, 2 hours to come get my daughter. Put her in the car. She's like, nah, I'm not putting her in that seat. I'm not.
So just give the seat that she got.
Hold on. Here's the funny part about it. Here's the thing that's so funny about it, right? And I'm glad the dude was recording it. The dude said, yo, he looks at her car. He said, yo, what you talking about? You got the same seat. The same exact seat.
Oh, man. Yeah.
She said, I don't care. I don't think she's going to be safe. So she ain't
In yours.
safe for my
Yeah.
seat, but she's safe for you. Yo, put her in the car. You know what she said? I ain't putting her nothing. He said, yo, it's court ordered. This is court ordered. She said, I don't care.
Don't take the courts home with you. Yeah.
Because what? She already know right now, chances are, she's not going to get, let me tell you something.
Ain't nothing happening over the weekend.
If tomorrow they implemented something to say, yo, first strike, you get locked up. Trust me. If they said that and it's in place, believe me, this would not be happening.
Yeah. See, some of these women will still try it, though.
Yeah.
They'll still try it. They'll still try it, man.
Happening.
I could probably sway the officer when he get here. I'll be all right.
That's another thing. You see what you just said? I've heard men tell me that when they approach the baby mother, ex-wife, whatever the title is, and they threaten to call police, a lot of them tell them, go ahead, I dare you. Because when the cop come, they're going to laugh at you. And I've had it just the other day. I had a conversation. And the person said when he called the cops, and he said to the cops, yo, I want to file a report. The cop laughed at him and said, you serious? He said, what you mean if I'm serious? Are you really going to file a report against a female? He said, hold on, homie. First of all, I didn't know I knew you.
Yeah.
Like, me and you ain't friends. I came to a police station to file a report. Like, you out here trying to convince me not to do it? Like, you know her or something? He's like, nah, but I'm just saying, she a female. He's like, dog, she a female that got my kids on the run. I haven't seen my kids in over a year. What are you talking about? But this is the thing what I'm saying now, on the same thing where it's that whole cliche about don't cry, don't show your emotions, don't this, don't that. It end up now where there's a guy that had worked for the corrections in New York State that was going through it and wanted to see his daughter. Couldn't see his daughter. Every time he tried to get his daughter, something else. He snapped. He checked out of work, drove on the bridge, came out of his car, and jumped off the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This is not even a story I'm reading about. This actually happened to someone that someone else I know knows. It was his co-worker. Okay. And that individual came to the man's funeral with two other guys, and they're in the corner laughing it up. Right? So this is the thing what I'm saying is, again, it's like, it's that vengeful, evil portion of people nowadays where the kid don't even matter. The courts don't care about the kids either. The courts don't care about, it's called family court, but it's not, it has nothing to do with family. It has
At
to do
all.
with dollars and cents.
Yeah.
That's all it is. For every dollar, it's a dollar. That's it. So they have to keep this rotating thing going. Right now, they're probably gonna figure out something else to maneuver around this to so you can still have to pay something for something, because now if you don't have to go to court to really put things in motion, court's getting cut out of it now.
Yeah, well, you still, because to my understanding, you still need to
follow. You have to, both parents have to sign an agreement, an acknowledgement of paternity, number one, a voluntary acknowledgement of paternity. And then I guess from there, the father can sign, the next step necessary paperwork.
Well, all right. So what I'm saying,
I was going to jump in with paternity. You still need to determine paternity first. So you're going to have to pay somebody for that.
Well, no, one of it is voluntary. So voluntary meaning I'm going to say, yeah, I know that person to be the true father of this child without even testing.
Wow. And if you
Yeah.
say no, like how would that play out?
No, well, that's different. That's a whole different situation.
Yeah.
So the first step is like voluntary acknowledgement of paternity from both parties, from mother and
Yeah, I think your mic is
Yeah,
really
we lost
clicking
her.
over there. Yeah.
They
Now
don't
you
want
mute
us.
right now.
They don't want us to have the
He hates that
information.
little headset. I don't know why she keep wearing that thing, man. Throw it away. Throw it away.
You tell she can plug it out if I plug it out and then just use a regular.
Nothing.
Oh
man.
We done lost you, Sassy.
It was good, Sassy. Oh man. Okay.
You know what happened?
Yeah, I
right?
mean, I'm certain that they will find a way to throw a monkey wrench in this thing, man. It's coming.
Sure. I mean, I hope not. And I hope it goes statewide. Honestly,
Yeah.
hope it goes statewide. There needs to be something implemented. You know, they need to have like a truth, like a not a lie detector, but a truth detector in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, or a bullshit detector. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like when someone is telling some bullshit story, like, oh, I never got paid, did that check, and go, you know,
Lie.
like bullshit, you know, because you know it's too many of that situation going on where, and we had someone. All right, so we've had different shows about this, and one of the next thing that I've heard for a lot of men is that when they go to court, and I actually spoke to a judge, and the judge told me, honestly, it's 2 strikes on black men, because when you come in as a black man and as a man, it's an automatic. You got that monkey on your back.
Yeah.
But just men in general, chances are, unless the person is a crackhead and is selling everything, including the kitchen sink, and just looks whacked out. Because I've had a guy that had that situation trying to get custody of his daughter because the mother was a drug addict. And this guy pleaded with the courts, begged with the courts, only until I think what happened, either the mother wandered off, left the house, left the kid there, the kid was starving. The father went to go check on her, found out that happened. She took the daughter, went to the court, told him everything. They put the mother in rehab, right?
Yeah.
And then told the father that once she cleans up, the kid got to go back.
Yeah.
The father's like, yo, she's a reoccurring drug addict. Like, what else I got to do? I work. I don't take drugs. I'm doing everything on the up and up. Like, but I can't keep my daughter. Even though my daughter is telling you right now, she don't want to go back. She had her sitting in an apartment starving. It still don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
And see, that's like there's a similar issue, or was a similar issue with Ulysses Cartwright,
Yeah.
Mr. Cartwright, where his old lady, she packed up Shorty. No, what it was, she put the child up for adoption.
I've heard that too.
I want to say, I think it was 5 years old. Don't quote me on this one. I think his name is Ulysses Cartwright. Is his daughter's mom put the child up for adoption, didn't let him know anything, and he was fighting to get the kid back, man.
Wow.
Fighting to get the kid back. Like, that is what ultimately inspired this bill to be passed.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's like, nah, man, I don't know. We got to find a better way to communicate with one another. On top of that, it's like, who are you signing on to, man?
Yeah.
You laid up, made a child with somebody, and didn't even know the child was here, let alone being put up for adoption. That's complicated in itself, man.
Yeah.
So
funny enough, you mentioned that, because I know someone that told me the same story. I can't. All right. So the thing I had to ask him at the time, because he told me the exact same thing happened to him. Hadn't seen his daughter in 2 years. Then he found out, and I was like, hold up, but you're on the birth certificate. It's like, yeah, but
I don't
so,
mean
all
it
right, so
didn't
it's a
at the
little bit
time. It
different.
didn't
My
mean.
bad.
Wait, what state? What state?
Florida.
Okay.
It was a little bit different. So the mother had the grandmother. So she signed basically the daughter over to the grandmother. I guess you would say that's like
A blood relative.
right, but I don't want to say like foster or anything like that. It's not
Like
Temporary
legal
custody.
custody.
yeah, like
Temporary
parental
custody.
rights over to the grandmother.
Okay.
You know, without having to even contact the father. So I said to him, I'm like, all right, I get that, but if you have that information, you should shoot to the court and let them know that's in violation because you never signed off on anything. It's a difference maybe if you wasn't even on the birth certificate, because I can say, all right, well, they don't really consider you. You understand? You're like really a ghost. But if your name is on the birth certificate and you know specifically that this is your child, and you know now that the grandmother, so you know where the person lives, you know where to get the address, you know how to. I'm looking at you kind of sideways. I'm thinking now, like, yo, maybe you not putting your best foot forward.
And most of the time they're not, man.
Because you just know it, but you ain't doing nothing about it. Because when I asked him, I'm like, so what you do about it? I ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of it, but going to take care of it. How long has this been? He said 2 years. I said, yo, you tripping.
That's a
2
that's a
years?
narrative that has to change, man. Yeah.
I said, yo.
Like you okay with it at this point.
That's what I'm saying to him. I'm like, yo, so you haven't seen your daughter in 2 years. You know exactly where it's at. It's in the same. It's a difference if that person took off. You don't even know what country, what state, what anything. You know where? It's next door. It's the next county. It's whatever. And you have, man, that's on you at this point.
Yeah, but
that's on you.
I mean, that excuse, like I've seen with dudes I work with, I have family members, it's constant excuses, man.
Yeah.
Bread ain't right. I don't have the money for that right now, man. I ain't trying to fight with her right now, man. She always called the police, man. And it's like, dog, change the narrative. Change the narrative.
A lot of men don't want to deal with this. So just walk away.
Step it up.
They just walk away.
And
and women know that. Women know that, so that's why
man.
they'll keep putting that type of pressure on them.
That's a disservice to the child. And see, that's the big negative in all this. I can battle with you all day, Sassy. You know, you got my shorty, this ain't working, I'm tired of this. We going at it, right? At each other's throats. But it's our kid who suffers from this thing, man.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, if it's a boy, you know, you have a son together, putting him on the mama like that, that's complicated. Like you said earlier, you're not in a position to teach this young man how to be a man.
Not what he needs, no.
And every time we see daddy, we going at it with, you know, with one another. It's like, damn, is this the way it's supposed to be? Me and women gonna be at war?
I'm scared of bugs, so guess what? He may be scared of bugs too. he right with me screaming because I'm scared of bugs. Okay.
Yeah, we definitely, the brothers out here, we have to change this narrative. It can't continue like this, man. You don't care. You cared enough to choose this woman, right or wrong. Like, I have to take accountability. I made some terrible choices. Okay. But I like to look at my experiences as lessons so that other people don't have to go through that. You don't have to sign on to the wrong thing, man. Put the condom on. But like, first, let's start there. Yeah. Okay. Wear the condom. You love her. I get it. Wear that condom, sir.
Right.
Now with the change as far as the unwed goes, okay, you don't have to marry him now. Okay. Now you don't have to be married. Okay. But still, strap up first and foremost. Strap up. Choose wisely. And then once this child gets here, put in that work, man. Sign that document. It's just like a marriage now. You need to have that prenup. So you signing off on the birth certificate. Set up that paternity if you're unsure for whatever the reason. But get yourself some receipts, player. And then have an even battle. You're going to still have a battle if you and this woman separate, but it'll be somewhat a level playing field. If not, you're going to be agitated. I'm telling you now. Like, I'm grateful that I had my children. There's a lot of things that I missed out on. There's a lot of opportunities I had to pass up on. And I didn't have that village that women are just, it just naturally inherit. Sassy gonna have mama, grandma, auntie, cousins. Everybody is willing to watch the baby and help. Madness? Oh, hell no, player. Why you took her to court? Wait, you signed that? Oh, hell no, I can't help you with that, player. You should have left him or her where she was at. Left them right there where they was at. Nah, man, why would you do that? Who you smoke? You smoking? Who does that? My grandmother gave me grief. Not the one that raised me. My father's mother gave me grief. The courts gave your daughter to you? Like, what's wrong with them? Like, what's wrong with them? Like, what's wrong with you, lady? Like, nah, man. Little girls need to be with their mama. And when mommy not available, then what? They could have gave it to her grandmama. I'm like, God damn, anybody but me, huh?
Isn't there at a point where the daughter got to be in the father's life too?
Of course.
A lot of older women don't care about that, man. They don't care about that. That child is supposed to be with her mama, period.
24/7.
That's how they look at it, man. That's what I went through. I can't speak on everybody, but for me, nah, the women in my family were not with it. And to the extreme, like, oh, so you don't want to with me, you gonna watch it this weekend? Yeah, right. Ain't nobody signed on to that but you, player. So it is what it is, man. With little man, it was a lot easier. When I got my oldest, it was easy because he could, we could pull over to the side of the road. He could pee standing up.
You had to have that piss pot in the back of your car.
Oh, man. Never.
They got the pouch.
A piss bottle for the boy and a piss pot for the girl.
They got it's like a little ice pack thing.
Nah, play
right in there.
No pee in the whip. No food in the whip. I was a militant dad. Like, you got a what? Oh.
What you mean?
We pulling over.
We ain't
pulling over.
If we can't pull over, like, especially like if we're going on a trip, man, we ain't pulling over.
We pulling over.
We get the bottle.
Pulling over.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely pulling over.
You got a what?
So you pulling over?
So
you mean to tell me 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, y'all on the road
pulling
trip.
over.
We pulling over, player. Baby, I got those wipes, baby. Come on now. Hold on. Open both of them doors up.
Wet my car up with that.
No.
Now, let me tell you something. I some kids nowadays, they urine smell like grown men.
You was gonna put that where in my back seat? Right. What? No.
Man,
no.
I'm telling you.
Oh, no.
That kid just drank a case of beer or something.
You ain't gonna be like Steve Harvey. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nah, no.
Steve,
a little twinkle.
Nah,
no way.
Nope.
So I wanted to share this with you guys.
Okay.
Huh?
Empathy is important for the development of healthy social relationships and character traits like caring and kindness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's learned up until a certain age. But guess who we learn it from? Mother or father?
Father.
Really?
Children learn empathy from their fathers. And that's one of the important reasons why fathers need to be present.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we see a generation of kids that just don't care. So most of them that don't have their daddies around to teach them that empathy that they need.
Yeah.
I could personally say that from my personal life that I've seen that situation full blast. I can definitely see that. Because just on the morality portion of things, and that's going back to talking about accountability, family and friends that enable, just common sense stuff. That's the thing that was most puzzling for me when I was going through the divorce situation and dealing with that. When you're trying to be diplomatic and trying to be an adult and the other person is really on some childish stuff. And like Sassy said, some fathers try and just fold to just keep the peace. But then at a certain time, you reach a certain limit now. You're like, all right, look, like you taking this way, way too far now. You know what I mean? I've been nice all this time here, but at this point now, if it's war, it's war. You know?
Yeah.
But the problem with it now, the minute that individual does that, then it's like he's Hitler now. You know what I'm saying? They're not putting in account that this person's been the one that's been bypassing everything for all these years, months, or whatever the time period. And going back to the empathy portion of things, you know, they have this depiction of fathers from the 70s, 60s, 70s, some part of the 80s. Because, you know, all right, let's take Good Times, for instance.
Okay.
Anything that went down, Florida said, wait till James get home, right? And James comes, and everybody's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not saying this for everyone, but majority of the stuff that I can remember, most fathers that I came in contact with when I was younger used to be the soft ones. I mean, not soft as far as meaning like just a herb, but meaning that bypass things like,
Okay.
While the mother's more, no, you better make sure.
Aggressive,
You know?
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And the father's usually like, man, just let him go outside and play. Ain't no big deal, you know? It's just that back then, the whole head of the household situation was, so the mother usually would say, talk to your father, or make, your father, blah, blah, blah. And thinking that the father's going to side with her and say, yeah, you're grounded, you know? But most times it's like, man, who cares? Let him go
Get
play.
out of my face. Yeah.
You know? So I've seen that. Like you said, looking at the dynamics nowadays and seeing where, and again, this is not just by coincidence. All these things are planned out. These are things that are systematic.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a change, not only in the gender situation, but again, like she said, the empathy portion of thing with kids. Kids nowadays can see someone pass away or hear that a family member passed away, and it's just like a
like
second,
what you telling me that for?
nanosecond of a tear that formed in the back but never came out in the ductal portion of things. You know what I'm saying? It's like
they're just cold now. Yeah,
like,
these little kids.
Grandma just passed away. It's like,
okay,
you just get a blank stare first, and it's just like,
Hey, really?
word. Oh, so what you made for dinner tonight? You know what I'm saying? It's just that quick. Yeah. And it's like, what? Did you not hear what I just said? Oh, I heard you. But I mean, she was old. You know, that's how they approach things. And you're like, yo, you tripping.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no connection like that family. Like family to them is friends.
And see, you know, I wanted to chime in on that earlier, where that's what I'm seeing a lot with the daughters anyway. The mothers and daughters, that dynamic nowadays, mom and daughter are best friends, man. You know?
Yeah.
Get on the clubbing. They hitting all the parties together. They wearing each other clothes. It's like come on, man.
Yeah. It's funny enough, I was in Macy's shopping, and it was me, my nephews, and my mother.
Yeah.
And I seen a mother-daughter, and it was around the time when graduation was coming around and stuff. So I'm assuming the girl was probably trying to get some stuff for prom or something like that. But she was in a different area than where prom stuff is really. So I'm assuming that some party or something was getting ready to go down. But the girl, she don't even look the age for prom. Like she looked like 15, 16. Yeah. You know? But the mother's in all these tight stuff and everything. And you could tell, like, yeah, okay, this is gonna be one of them mom friend movement, right? So she walks near where I was, and there was an outfit that I originally picked up for my mother, But then I said, all right, I'm gonna wait until she come out the dressing room and ask if she wanted it. So I put it back on the rack, but I was standing near it. This lady saw it and she was like, oh, grab that. So the daughter grabs it and then she looks at the price and she's like, I think it was like maybe $80 or something. But it was just a you know, when females go to the beach, they put that little, I don't even know what you call it, but like a little skirt thing around them. Like I don't know what you call it. I'm just gonna say like a skirt thing. Okay. Like when you go to the beach, just to cover yourself.
Like a cover, it's called a cover up.
A cover, yeah. So the daughter's just sitting there and she's like, oh yeah, get that. We probably get to it. But when you think about it, you're sitting there, you're like, look, this is madness right here. Because
not madness. Oh,
but
man.
meaning that, okay,
Yeah.
she's probably starting to tell her how to woo dudes and how to do this and all this other stuff. And it's like, yo, there's no need. That time will come for that. Like, you really need it. And that's the problem with it. Guaranteed she's not at home showing her. And this is not nothing to downgrade anybody by saying knowing how to cook or how to take care of a household. But the problem with it nowadays, that's like a bypass situation that is not even important anymore, because the minute you mention cook, everybody like, you out your mind. I ain't cooking nothing. Okay? And then when you say keep a clean house and stuff like that, that's what you get it made for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was like,
you
say
cleaning
what?
yourself, you gotta be broke. You poor now. What?
Dog. I remember when the ex-wife said to me one time, she's gonna hire a cleaning service. I said, well, what wing are they cleaning?
What
Are
wing?
we on the east wing or the west wing? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got one house, but you see, that's what society has put in place now.
That's the new norm. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That you can't get up on the weekend and clean 2 or 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, or whatever. You acting like you got 100 rooms or 16 rooms or something in this place. It's a living room, a kitchen, and that's only if it's high traffic and crazy stuff going on. If not, you don't have that much. You do your regular maintenance situation in your bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
You do your bedroom, you spread your bed and different things like that. You go about your business for the day. But no, that's just way too much, and that's killing my lifestyle. I want to go drink mimosas with my friends, and I want everything I see on Atlanta Housewife. You know what I mean? Like, you try to tell them, like, yo, that's not reality at the end of the day. That's why a lot of them are still single or divorced or whatever the situation.
Yeah.
You know, it's make-believe. And that's the problem right now. And the kids are suffering from all these different things. All these different elements are regurgitating the same things. Now, these kids are going to look for those same wrong partners, repeat the same process, say that my mom told me to never do this, or, you know, learn how to scam a man this way, or learn how to use a female that way. My pops told me every girl out here is a hoe, or, you know, these little things that's always going to keep recycling the same foolishness in our neighborhoods, you know. But I hope that, again, this is a stepping stone for at least the fathers to be able to be in their kids' life, to at least keep them out of jail and off the stripper poles and stuff like that, because that's where a lot of this stuff is ending up. And again, if you really don't know that all these things is programming, I must repeat myself again. When you hear, what's her name, Croatia, or whatever her name is, from City Girls, tell you that she do not let her own daughter
listen to her music.
Listen to her music, because her daughter is going to be better than her. Take my word. That's all you need to hear to understand. You need to turn it off then. Because that, to me, don't make no sense. but that's not the only place. People that make Apple iPhone, the iPhones and different Google, Facebook people tell you that they don't let their kids get on it either.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're telling you, if I created the monster, but I only released the monster in certain neighborhoods, but I tell it and I sell it to you that this is not a monster, this is a fairy godmother. So why my kids can't talk to Tinkerbell? Why is it only your kids? If you can't see that and understand that something's wrong, can't help you then. So I hope for the future that, you know, this is the stepping stone to many more of these things in statewide and worldwide, hopefully, you know.
Yeah.
So
we have to create new norms, man, because you know, and I mean, we're gonna come off as old heads. I went outside. I was jumping fences. We was running the football, basketball, baseball, like whatever was outside, we was outside.
Yeah.
Now these kids are being raised by technology.
Yeah.
Outside? Are you crazy? It's hot out there, man. I'm gonna get on this game right here. What you talking about outside? Sweating.
Yo, you are not lying when
No
you say
way.
that.
Stationary children.
Hey, man, y'all don't want to go out there and play. Out there and play. Play what?
You see,
There's bugs out there.
They
Yeah.
need to go
Not lying.
outside.
Let me tell you something.
Oh yeah, because obesity is at an all-time high right now,
It's
man.
not even
And-
just the obesity. It's more of the depression. Like you saying, cooped up in the house,
Mhm.
not getting
The isolation,
vitamin.
yeah. The vitamin
gotta-
D, you need that
Vitamin D,
sunlight.
you got to go out there 15 minutes or so. This 15
Get
minutes,
active,
like,
man.
get active.
Yeah.
That's
Fresh
why we have.
air, smell the
Yeah.
grass.
Yeah, you have so much of these. The younger generations is like they just want to stay cooped up in the house.
Yo, they all
day.
got anxiety. It's crazy.
Have anxiety, got
Oh,
depression.
I'm like, what are
got
you
this.
anxious about? You do nothing, everything is done for you. What are you anxious about? But maybe that's the problem.
And it's a trip how it switched because, like, for me and my brother growing up, we hated being inside. It was nothing inside
Same here.
at
all
all.
of us. All
What?
of us.
I
We
don't
was
want to be
out
in there.
from
I
from
just try
sun
to,
up from
I just
after
try to
you
beat the
ate
street light.
breakfast. You was
Mm-mm.
outside from after you ate breakfast to that street light came on. That was
The
it.
minute I was finished my
Even that
homework,
street
I was
light,
outside.
you had to get called in for that street light because it's like, shoot, I ain't really trying to go back in there, man. Ain't nothing going on in there. Going to run the game, you know, like it's different because our primary focus was not a video game. We had it, we had access to it, but it was like,
But here's the
that's
thing.
last resort. It's raining out there. All right, we can get on Sonic.
Yeah,
You know?
here's the thing.
But-
When we playing the video games, it's more of, yo, we gonna stay up tonight and and beat this level.
Oh man, yeah.
And then morning time come, yo, we outside.
See, that's what you think about. Yeah, it was
playing
always
basketball.
late night. The game was late night.
Yo,
Yeah.
When
man,
the sun was up, we was outside.
We was
getting active.
outside.
Madness had it real good. He said Sonic.
Yeah, we go to Sonic.
We talking about what
We
we
was
had.
on Atari when it was
Atari.
just sticks.
Yeah,
man.
without the game.
Yo,
Without the
Atari had,
game.
we had the first Atari that dropped, and it was 2 games that came with it, right? One was Tetris, and one was like a tank.
The
A
tank.
tank that shoots something. But the tank, everything was these square boxes. It was just blips, it's just square boxes. Like the actual graphic portion of things didn't pop
Oh,
off until
man.
Nintendo Duck Hunt and stuff like that.
Oh man.
Duck Hunt was like 4K
And
for
Donkey
us.
Kong too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? To see
Mario.
them shit, you was like, what?
Oh man, yeah,
Let me tell you
Yo,
something.
it got
that's all stood before my time, man. I don't know about that.
Let
It
me
got
tell you
crazy.
how corny the shit was. We had this thing called double dribble. I don't know
Yeah,
how far
man.
back you got. But yo, just to see the little stupid thing jump up and say double dribble.
Yo, you got dunked on.
What?
Oh,
Dude
man.
was going nuts. Like, oh shit.
Yo,
So trust me, when you saying Sonic, I'm like, oh man, you rich.
hey, hold on. Hey,
Oh man.
I see where you at. 'Cause
'Cause,
I
yeah,
had
we from the
Sonic.
same era, man.
I had
Y'all
Sonic.
from a different era.
I had the Genesis.
Man said Atari, there was no Sonic.
Shit.
There was no Sonic. He didn't exist. He wasn't born yet.
That's it. Mm-mm.
Damn.
I'm gonna tell you, let me tell you.
Double
I remember
Dragon.
when we first got the Atari, everybody was like, damn, y'all rich. Yo, the Atari was $100. It was $99.99.
Oh
Okay,
man, these games now.
and back then, I'm telling you, for you to get that $100 to save up, it was like $1,000. Okay, because Atari dropped, and it was only selective fews that was able to get that thing. Okay, so if you went to somebody's house and they had it, they was the Cosby kids, because it was like,
Wow.
yo, we was fortunate enough to get it. My uncle got it for us.
Oh yeah.
And all the cousins had to share that one joint. So it's like my turn now.
Did we have 2 joysticks initially, or was it just one?
It was 2. It came with 2.
It came with 2.
Yeah. Later on, they caught on and they started doing ones, and then you got to buy the extra one.
Pay for that second one, yeah.
Somebody was like, "Hey, what you doing?"
Don't give them 2.
Make more profit.
Gotta charge them, yeah, man. Get that bread.
So trust me, you doing well, man. It's it. You're doing real
Like I
good.
said, me and you in the same boat.
Yeah.
I had the Sonic.
Brats.
Running Sega. Yeah, we definitely got to change this norm, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think I said on the last episode, eat cleaner, move more. It's just really what it is, man. If you start it, pass that on to your kids, man, because these kids now, 200 pounds, 10 years old, like, come on, man. What is going on?
I think also, what has to be said, and that goes for everyone. When it comes to lawyers, definitely research the lawyer.
Yeah.
When I was going through my stuff, I went through like 3 lawyers, right? And the first one was a quack, and I went through him from a friend. He was recommended, and he did well for my friend, did garbage for me. So
oh man,
I was telling everyone now, research, start Googling and go on any legal sites. I forgot what site. I looked them up, and my gosh, the reviews was horrible. And I was like, damn, I wish I had checked all this first. So what I was saying, definitely do that. Second, try not to promote that bad energy, especially around your kids or whatever. Like, if that person want to be the worst or want to be vindictive, let them do what they do. You off balance it by teaching them the opposite, and just keep it moving like that. Because trust me, them kids they may not
they
say
sponges.
it right out front, but they picking it up little by little. And it may not happen now, but 10, 15 years from now, trust me, you probably gonna hear about it where they say, yo, I remember back then, and this one was
Pops
that.
was doing it. Yeah, Mom's
you offset
doing
it by doing this, and this is why I am where I am now, or whatever, so just keep it moving.
Trauma.
Let's keep it moving. That's all. So I need to hear, man, is you closing out now?
Yeah, it looks that way, right? You got me in the shop on the solo, man. You on where you at, man? Cancun? How you did us, man?
Can't tell you yet, man.
I was waiting. I thought Q was gonna pop up in your background, man. I thought y'all was out there together, man.
On the next go round. I'm gonna wait for him on the next go round. Oh, hey, shout out to Amir also. We're gonna promote this situation. I'm gonna get it going, but shout out to his clothing brand called Stay Focused.
Good stuff.
Please do support. We'll probably post some stuff on the sites, and definitely try to get him on there and let him talk about how he went about creating this thing and stuff like that. So yeah, Stay Focused, man. That's the brand. That's the movement.
And he's doing custom garments, or he's heat press. What's the situation like?
Well, he actually designed the character and everything. Okay. So that's his personal designs and stuff. And we're just gonna try to support the movement. I'm trying to help these young kids. As long as you got a goal and you're trying to push something, let's just try to help them.
Definitely got to start somewhere, man. I support it, man.
So yeah,
support.
Take them to the top. I said, let's take them to the top, man. We all support.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'll try to see about getting them on there, or at least showcasing the designs and stuff like that.
Sounds good.
All right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out now. All right.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so please, all right, because we always leave this part out. I need y'all to hit that like button and go ahead and press subscribe. All right. Check us out on all platforms. Okay. Drop a comment, numbers on the screen, hit us up. You got any topics out there that y'all want us to go over, man? Chime in, let us know. All right. The email is up there, live at the barbershop podcast at gmail.com. And this is Madness. I'm signing off.
Definitely.
And this is Madness. I'm signing off.
Definitely.
Close it out. Now, Sassy, we love you. See you later.
Love you
John,
guys
come to work,
too.
man.
All right. I'm out.
Yeah.
T on the ones and twos, baby.
Hey, yo, Bob will be back next
I don't
week.
say, Bob, we miss you, man. Q,
Hey,
stay
next
up out
week,
there,
I'm gonna
baby.
let you know where I'm
Yo,
at.
hey, I really think Bob and Q was hanging out, man.
They
'cause
must
both of them-
they must
they
be
might-
Vegas
might,
hanging
yeah.
out.
Yeah, 'cause, yo, both of them say, yo, I ain't coming. I'm like, yo, what?
They in Vegas hanging out.
Telling you, man.
He's chiming in though. See?
That's how they do you, man.
That's how they do. But
Man,
it's
how we
right.
lose all three, man, one night? It ain't just something.
No, I'm telling you,
Man,
man.
I'm
but
on
it's
business.
cool.
I'm on
This
BI.
man here. Your
At
chair
least
right
he
here,
chimed- At
man.
least he chimed in.
At least I did, right?
We'll see
Bye
how
guys.
next. All right, everybody.
Nice.
God bless
Night,
everyone.
night.
Be safe, world.
Go out
All
in the
right,
world
man.
and be somebody.